I'll tell you point blank, I have not 1 ounce of remorse for Tracy Ann's death.
Saying pull the trigger that killed your son, you know, it masturbates to memory of you.
What type of animal are you?
This is 17-year-old TJ Lane, a school shooter who wreaked havoc on Chardon High School in Ohio on February 27, 2012.
At Chardon High School, we had shots fired, multiple gunshots.
According to police accounts, Lane entered the school, targeted the cafeteria, and opened fire, tragically claiming the lives of 3 students and inflicting severe injuries on 3 others.
We have an active shooter at the high school.
I saw a kid holding a gun, pointing it towards a group of kids, and getting ready to press the trigger. I looked up, and he shot 2 more, and it hit a group. It hit a kid, and he fell, and another kid was hiding under the table for cover. It was just so scary.
Lane was later arrested and charged with 3 counts of aggravated murder, 2 counts of attempted aggravated murder, and 1 count of felonious assault. Lane's crimes were bad enough, but in court, things got even worse. From the start, it was clear Lane was anything but remorseful. He appeared in court with a white t-shirt with the word killer written across it. According to reports, Lane wore this shirt because it was similar to the one he wore on the day of the shooting. His lack of remorse only worsened from here.
Saying pull the trigger that killed your son, you know, it masturbates to memory of you.
This callous statement triggered outrage and revulsion, not only among the families of the victims, but throughout the entire country. Now the victims' parents got a chance to speak to Lane.
I hate you for the pain you have caused, Nick. You chased him down the hall and fired the last bullet that paralyzed him. Why? Why did you do it? Why?
As the victim impact statements were read, Lane would be seen laughing as they explained the damage his actions caused them.
I will have to eventually forgive you. Otherwise, you will haunt me. You will never, ever be in my thoughts after this.
I hope you have a cold, rough, unkind, harsh prison life with monsters like yourself. I want you to endure years and years of pain.
He received 3 life sentences without the possibility of parole. But if you think Lane's story ends here, you're wrong. Fast forward 2 years to 2014.
Breaking news, TJ Lane, the Chardon High School shooter, on the loose right now. He escaped this evening from a prison in western Ohio.
In 2014, Lane and 2 other inmates escaped from the Allen Correctional Institution in Ohio, where he was serving his sentences. According to reports, Lane and the other inmates built an 11-foot ladder, allowing them to climb over the prison's fence. If you watch closely, you can see Lane and the other inmates making a run for it. One of the inmates got caught only minutes after the escape, but Lane, already a convicted killer, and another inmate were still on the loose, sparking a statewide manhunt.
He did scale our perimeter fence. And again, this is an ongoing investigation.
Fortunately, Lane and the other escapee were captured by the next day. Upon his capture, Lane would be transferred to a maximum security prison in Lucasville, where he's now serving his 3 consecutive life sentences. While TJ Lane's case is repulsive, it's almost comparable to the monster that is Nicholas Cruz.
My name is Nick, and I'm going to be the next school shooter of 2018. My goal is at least 20 people with an AR-15 and a couple tracer rounds. I think I can get done. It's going to be a big event. And when you see me on the news, you'll all know who I am.
On February 14, 2018, Nicholas Cruz, a 19-year-old former student of Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School, unleashed a horrifying attack resulting in the death of 17 people and injuries to 17 others. According to reports, Cruz arrived at the school at 2:19 p.m. Just 20 minutes before school was wrapping up then, he started firing. Cruz immediately fled the scene on foot, running to a local subway, where he could be seen begging a traumatized student for a ride home. Cruz's rampage became the deadliest high school shooting in the history of the United States. Eventually, he was arrested in a park near the school.
What's going on? What's going on today, bro?
The demons, man.
Demons?
Voices.
Now, we move to Cruz's trial. The main defense argued by Cruz's legal team was that Cruz was a victim of mental health and developmental issues because his birth mother used alcohol and drugs during her pregnancy.
At some point, we have to realize that there are women who will continue to abuse alcohol, do drugs, live a risky lifestyle while they are pregnant, do not get proper prenatal care, and that they damage their babies that are growing in their belly, and they damage the brain of the baby that is growing in their belly. There will be more Nicholas Cruzes, because there will be more women that drink alcohol when they're pregnant, that poison their baby.
Cruz's defense, however, was later videotaped, displaying disgusting acts as the proceedings continued.
When these people are upset about specific things that have gone on from that table, like shooting the middle finger up at this court and laughing and joking, Miss McNeil, be quiet. When these people have sat in this courtroom and watched this behavior from that table, and they want to say that they're not happy about it, what is the problem?
Before his sentencing, family members had the chance to speak directly to Cruz.
And I watched you kill my daughter on video. I saw you enjoying it. You shot her with a single shot.
I am wearing Joaquin's t-shirt that he wore the night before you killed him.
You shot my kid 4 times. You his marvelous brain and ideas and dreams. You destroyed them. Shot him 4 times. You needed an AR-15 to do that, because otherwise Joaquin would have eaten the shit out of you.
A student who survived Cruz's attack took the stand. After a 4-month trial, Judge Elizabeth Shearer delivered the sentence.
The court imposes a sentence of life in prison without the possibility of parole.
Cruz remained emotionless as he received 34 consecutive life sentences, 1 life sentence for each victim murdered or wounded at the hands of Cruz. His cold demeanor in court was disturbing. However, the next case will feature the most disrespectful and non-remorseful convict. This is Randall Moore. He is facing 3 life sentences for crimes against his former wife, Therese Ann Lynch. Lynch had left her husband and filed a protective order against him. This resulted in Moore kidnapping and killing his estranged wife. Officer Todd Rowland responded to the cries from the apartment, where he was then shot and wounded.
Okay, 303 Adams been hit, officer down. Suspect's armed with 20 shells. Advises nobody come to the door, as he will shoot again.
Shortly after, Moore had a phone call with a 911 dispatcher. Listen as he explains his motives.
I didn't want to do any of this.
Okay.
But I'm telling you, all I wanted was my son. I just wanted to see my 7-month-old baby. That's all I cared about.
Not long after, Moore surrendered, and for Officer Rowland, he underwent surgery for his hand. As the verdict is read out, Moore gives nothing but a slight nod.
We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of murder in the first degree. We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of kidnapping in the first degree. Guilty of sexual abuse in the first degree. Guilty of attempt to commit murder.
At Moore's sentencing, Lynch's mother gives a victim impact statement.
What you did to my daughter, Therese Ann Marie Lynch, was evil, hateful, and despicable. You are now dead and rotting and repulsive to me.
Read the journal she wrote. She hated you.
Thank you, Judge.
She hated you. You're a loser.
Moore refused to apologize for his actions, saying he had no remorse for what happened.
And I'll tell you point blank, I have not 1 ounce of remorse for Therese Ann's death. It could have all been prevented. All you had to do is let me see my kid. Now you're never going to see her again.
But now comes the judge.
If anybody didn't know what a piece of work you were before you start talking, they know it now. The court doesn't allow me to punish you any more than I'm doing now. If I could, I would.
Moore was given a total of 3 life sentences, plus 25 years for the attempted murder. Like the video if you find it interesting, and watch this video next.